There's an infinite number of universes out there. In many of them, there is a podcast by us. In one of them, it's good. Please enjoy.
Hey Zeb, I'm having trouble with some sleep demons.
Oh man, I hate those guys. They're whack. They make you feel so sleepy because they eat all your sleep. I got a theory on how to fight them though. I reckon you just gotta stop sleeping and start napping, because naps are kind of like the Doritos where sleep is the meal. And I feel like the sleep eating demons would just, they'd get kind of gross after a while and they'd leave you alone, because naps feel awful. So I'm sure they feel awful to eat too. But yeah.
Hello and welcome to the But Yeah podcast with Aemyn and Zeb. I'm Aemyn.
And I'm Zeb.
And today, as usual, is a very special day. And I ran out of juice. I'm just so tired lately. Because I've been, I don't know. I've been missing out on that good sleep. It's napping day, 12th of March. So you thought I messed up.
Yeah.
That was all intentional.
I was very confused, but then you brought it back.
This is going to really...
I was like...
It's going to really add to the atmosphere.
I would have picked up on it, but I'm just so tired. I think I need a nap. I'm feeling... That's a natural sounding yawn, isn't it?
Kinda. Here's a quote from Barbara Jordan on the daysoftheyear.com page for Napping Day. Think what a better world it would be if we all... The whole world had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon, and they'd lay down on our blankets for a nap. Every single person in the world.
That'd be a disaster.
Every day. Cookies and milk. Nap on a blanket.
Like, what about the hospitals? What about
the police? Although, I guess the criminals are sleeping as well.
I mean, it reminds me of that movie. What was that television series where everyone stopped being, like, everyone... Basically, this happened. They all had a nap for about 5 seconds, but they saw the future. But let's take out that part. What's that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not the 100.
The day the world napped.
Yeah, the day the world went snoozy woozy.
Suits.
Yeah. Someone might know the show.
I don't know.
That's
Flash forward?
Flash forward. Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah. But instead of flash forward,
ring those prize bells!
Ding, 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 ding.
I knew the name of a reference.
Instead of flash forward, it's just nap now. And Barbara Jordan, if she'd watched that series, she'd know that her suggestion here would be a disaster. It's absolutely dangerous.
I mean, everyone's driving home. They all have to stop and nap.
Yeah.
Traffic is... Well, I guess no one's trying to get anywhere.
I guess if you know ahead of time, the state-enforced nap's going to happen.
But also, think of the implications of time zones in this respect, which is, are we all napping at 3 o'clock one time zone? Or is it around the world, every time zone as it hits 3 p.m., everyone naps?
Ooh. Because
they're both terrifying. One of them, every hour, one time zone is asleep.
And, that's when they get invaded.
Yeah.
Or robbed by the neighboring country.
The alternative is around the world, every single person is asleep at a different time of day based on their time zone.
Yeah. That's problematic.
It is.
I guess at least 1 or 2 countries already have that problem. In South America have naps. They have siestas.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't standardize that to 3 p.m. if my 3 p.m. is your 6 a.m. and you have to nap then. We can't build a good system around it because everyone's is different.
Yeah. I just mean South America's done okay. They haven't been, robbed and attacked by other countries while they're all having their nap.
Are you sure? Have you checked?
I haven't. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there lately. Are you okay, South America?
Tweet us, South America.
Is your nap?
We need to know you're all right.
Yeah. Apparently Italy have one too. They call it a riposo though.
That's very Italy.
Which is a cool word. I really like that word.
America probably has one. It's just not called anything fancy.
It's just called having a nap.
I guess. Napo, Bapo. But see, for you it doesn't make a big difference because you don't work 9 to 5.
No.
You work 9 to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But for me, it'd be really weird if I napped at 3 p.m. because I'd be at work. I'd be probably fixing something at the time. It'd be bloop, 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 time for your nap. Government mandated napping time. I'd be like, oh, beans, I guess I won't get this fixed today.
The little electrode in your wrist just releases the juice into your blood. It's like, it is nap time. No.
But then I'd wake up and I'd have to drive home, and if the nap didn't turn out well...
Well, I mean, I assume they'd design it to be the perfect nap time.
I guess.
So you would have a good nap. But what if someone got in the system and then, like, one person who's like, they don't sleep, that's their superpower. Superpower, insomnia. And they hack the system so the whole world gets a horrible nap, and everyone's all like, ugh, and he or she takes advantage of that because they always feel like that. So it's by having everyone on that level, they're on the level playing ground, and then they take over the world.
Yeah, I love the
whatever local version.
I love the trailer for Marvel's new superhero movie, Sleepy Girl, who has the power of insomnia, and she never has to sleep. Ever.
And she's just really tired all the time.
She's real tired. But she gets the city cleaned up one piece at a time.
Like collecting trash?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like peace, or like she's not fighting crime.
Well, eventually she ends up having to fight crime because she gets rolled into the Justice Crew or whatever they're called. And
the Justice... a series of people with superpowers, but based on like just not like, I don't sleep well. That's my power. I'm always hungry.
What's his superhero name though?
Always hungry?
Always hungry
His always hungry James.
Yeah.
Hungry James.
Hungry James. I love that superhero movie.
That's like Hunger Games.
Oh my god. I love that superhero movie that stars Sleepy Girl, Hungry James, and my good friend played by Will Smith.
Can't shoot well?
Shoot well is an awful last name.
Instead of bull...
I'm banning it. Hello, I am Shootwell. This is my son. Can't shoot well. Look at him try.
That's his power. He always misses. You can actually, if that was a power, he always misses, that could be used to your advantage. Like if you were 100%, it's almost as good as being 100% able to hit.
That's true, yeah.
Because they just don't hit that and then he hits it.
They're like, sir, they've got the hostage up on level 3. We need the expert. And they're like, send in, can't shoot well. And he like goes up there and they're like, all right, the enemy is holding the lady he's taken capture, and he's like holding the gun to her. And Shootwell is like trying to aim as hard as he can at the hostage.
Yeah.
And because he has a 0% chance of hitting her, the bullet misses her no matter what he does and hits the evil guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, they could all have origin movies. I look forward to this.
I'm killing it already. I don't want to see this.
Can't shoot well, Hungry James, Sleepy Girl, the guy who can't climb anything.
I love that guy.
Bad parkour man. Did you watch Suicide Squad?
Yeah. It had good parkour man.
Yeah, he was my favorite one. They're like, this guy can breathe fire. This guy is an alligator. This guy has perfect aim. This is the man that can climb good. And everyone's just sort of looks at each other. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's not going to last long.
But then he does last long.
No, he tried to climb and he immediately died. They went, hey, no climbing, and then they shut him down.
Isn't he the Australian one?
No. That's a different one.
Oh, okay.
The Australian one got dialogue. His power was that he had a boomerang.
America! I'm talking to you right now, 80% of our listeners. We see the stats. We know it's you who's listening. Australia doesn't care about us, but you care about us. Stop doing this.
I tried throwing a boomerang once. All it did was land in the field, and I had to go and get it.
I guess you were the boomerang. You know what?
Maybe it threw me.
You know what they say about boomerang jokes?
Hey.
Can't get rid of them.
Yep.
The boomerang is a gift and a curse because it's such an iconic symbol of Australia. But the jokes just keep coming back.
And they keep coming back. We can't get rid of it. It's just no matter how high.
Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the boomerang and the designs and the whole thing. But the jokes that y'all like to make.
Anyway. The good thing about a boomerang is a weapon that enforces napping. I should say. It's a nap maker.
What? I guess, because you're waiting for so long for it to get back?
No, because it hits you in the head.
Oh, okay.
You're unconscious.
I just told everyone not to make the jokes, and you come in with another joke.
Yeah. Well, as we know, They keep coming back.
No, it's 2018.
And now,
find one other Australian thing, please.
oh, the hats with the corks dangling off them.
I'm calling the police.
Keeps the flies out, apparently. No.
Flies hate cork.
Man, I wish that Crocodile Dundee movie with Danny McBride was actually real. That looked so good.
What?
Did you see it? It was a fake trailer. It was actually an ad for Australia tourism. But it was like Danny McBride is like the son of Crocodile Dundee, but he's American and he comes back to Australia and he's like trying to do all the Crocodile Dundee stuff, but he's shit at it.
Oh my god.
And he had all these Australian actors like Chris Hemsworth and like other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. Margot Robbie and etc. But it wasn't real. They're not doing it. It looked really good though.
Okay. So that's napping day, everybody.
But yeah.
Oh, so you had some info on the history of napping.
Naps generally feel awful, but it's just that we're not utilizing them right. We need to learn from the great figures of history who are known to some degree for their napping. Naps are pretty good. Like they don't really need defending. Naps are pretty solid as is. But like if you're running across any napping naysayers in your day-to-day life, you should put them down with some sweet examples of famous nappers from history. You know who else napped in history? Charlemagne.
Who's Charlemagne?
He's like this. He existed roughly the year 1000 or something. He was like a French emperor. He ruled the Carolingian Empire. I don't really know much about. Like I just saw somewhere that he napped apparently. So so take that. Like wow, he had an empire and he still had naps. So can you. But like other famous nappers are like Winston Churchill. He had this quote, which I think is a really good description of it. Like, it's so old and British. It's like, nature has not intended mankind to work from 8 a.m. in the morning until midnight without the refreshment of blessed oblivion. And like, he took heaps of naps all the time. He had like an enforced, like, this is my nap time, get out of my office. Even like during like wartime and all of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of wartime, I mean, like it's going to be hard to have naps when you're at war. Napoleon was another one who slept weird. He basically just only did that dream demon fighting tactic. I mean, they could have been fighting dream demons. They could have been around because all he did was nap. He didn't have sleeps as long as they were on the battlefield.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, what if you're too deep in a sleep, you get all groggy, and then a battle happens.
That's true.
It's just good practice, I guess. I mean, that's what I do when I'm playing war-based video games or something. I don't know. Another one.
He napped during Battlefield 3.
More like PUBG. Or
Tap X to nap.
Like a quick time event. Like it just shows up. You got to start mashing all the complex snap buttons because it's a difficult thing. But that's like the wartime people examples. But then also it's inspires creativity. A lot of famous inventors and like artists and stuff like that would use naps as a tool in their whole thing. Thomas Edison was another one, although he avoided sleeping as a rule was sort of the thing. Everyone was like, he doesn't sleep. But then like they'd come into like his workbench office area and he'd be just like sleeping on the bench. I assume planking is how I imagine it.
Just face down on the table.
He's just spontaneously asleep. Yeah. Oh, he must be working really hard. Some of the highlights that I read was like, you know, like in cupboards on the floor in his office. His assistants would just come in and go, oh, Thomas Edison. Eddie's just having one of his blessed oblivion sessions. Another one is Salvador Dali, who was like this crazy artist. Have you heard of him? He's like,
yeah, he's the melted clock man.
Yeah. He was like,
he had a bunch of melted clocks in his backyard, and he was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do with these? Guess I'll learn painting.
Yeah, it was actually like a real life, like he just did still lifes.
Everyone was just like, oh man, I love your super abstract paintings, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. These are my clocks.
It's real hot here. This one person stood in a field. Everything's melting all the time. I can't stand it. But anyway, he did this thing, which apparently wasn't just him, although I didn't read the details on the other people doing it, but apparently Einstein did it. And like Aristotle talked about it. I don't know how to...
What about Plato?
Maybe. I don't know.
What about Grok?
Grok? It seems like something Grok would do, to be honest, but
What about the first multicellular organism?
I don't think they had naps or sleep, did they? Did we?
Well, that's a whole nother level of sort of efficiency.
Do cells have sleeps? Is that a thing? Are there any biologists listening?
Horses
Help
sleep.
us.
And horses are just big, lovable cells, if anything.
I mean, they are multicellular organisms.
Yeah. So
I think we've solved it.
If we know that horses sleep, then we can sort of assume that individual cells must, because horses are just giant, lovable creatures made from these cells.
I think it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe horses practice this technique. I mean, they have pretty short sleeps, I hear. Anyway, Salvador Dali did this thing, and he was something to know about Salvador Dali. He was either he was either much saner than the rest of us, or the opposite. But he did a thing called the slumber with a key. The aim was to sleep longer than a second, but less than 2.
A second?
Yeah.
What?
So he's so he's sat in this real uncomfortable chair by the sounds of it, but like comfortable enough to have a bit of a sleep, but with his arms sort of propped off the ends of it, with a key, a big old fashioned wrought iron key dangling in his hand loosely, with a big metal sheet beneath him. So he'd fall just off to a sleep and then drop the key and wake himself up.
Right.
With the loud bang. And he was like, it promotes creativity. It does all this sort of magical, it gets the juices flowing apparently.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird, but there's actually a little bit of weird science to it, which doesn't sound right. But like back then, it sounds like these people always did, and everyone, yeah, sure, whatever, because everyone believed in everything, I guess. But like now, we have a couple of established stages of sleep. There's light sleep, deeper sleep, and as you sort of get down into the REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement, that's your deepest dreaming sleep. This, to be fair, this is research I just sort of dug from digging around briefly on Google. So if any sleep scientists out there want to go, actually, I welcome it, because I could be wrong.
I also welcome facts about horses and their relations to tiny multicellular organisms.
Are they multicellular organisms? Did we get it right?
Well, maybe I would. What if they're giant single-celled organisms and we just haven't noticed?
That'd be terrifying. Wouldn't they eat by just opening up? I mean, that's exactly what they do. Wouldn't they just be a giant blob? Your horse looks different. It's gradually absorbing all the other horses.
Yeah, it's like that that mythology of the horse that drags children down into the deep. The Kelpie.
Oh, right. Like the seahorse, but not a seahorse like...
Not a seahorse. Much more terrifying.
Like not a whimsical seahorse. Like a horse of the sea. Anyway, so there's this thing. It's called hypnagogic sleep. So there's a short moment when you're awake and in that lighter stage of sleep, or like that technical sleep zone, which is like a strange little spot. It's that spot, they have hypnagogic jerks, which is that bit when you've just relaxed off into a lovely dozing state, and then you go, ugh!
Oh, I hate that.
And you jerk. That's a hypnagogic jerk.
That's the worst.
Hypnagogic sleep is this moment of sleep. It's like this moment of transition. And it's, while the rest of the stages is like REM occurs like an hour and a half into sleep, but hypnagogic sleep has a moment of REM in it.
Right.
So you have a moment of dreaming.
You get that single moment of that sweet, sweet sleep juice.
Yeah.
That makes you crave it even more, and then it all gets torn away from you.
Yeah, but it makes you really creative, apparently, because that's what Salvador Dali thought.
It's sleep that makes you go, ah.
Yeah, just a little, ah. And then you feel awful, but then you go make some art, or you make some creates, and it's great. It's good stuff. So if anyone wants some napping tips, like the main stuff to remember is either go at least 10 to 20 minutes. You don't really want to go beyond that for a quick power nap, or 1 second.
Or for,
depends on your goal.
If you want a real powerful nap, just go the whole 8 hours.
Not if dream demons are around, though. You want to starve those suckers out like tapeworms. So yeah, naps are really good. What do you think of naps? Do you ever take them to restore your creative juice flow?
My nap schedule is not that great. Usually it's like once every 3 months. I'm like, oh, I could just lie down and fall asleep at this point in time.
And
then I try and I listen to a podcast and I just lie there for an hour and 20 minutes not doing anything.
Oh, that's like a nap. I mean, it's kind of like a minimalist nap.
So my question to you is, if I just lie there doing nothing, does that count as a nap?
I tend to count them as...
I'm still awake.
I don't think so. But technically, there are a couple of stages of sleep, so you could technically be in the lighter stage of sleep, which counts.
But I don't get that recharge juice.
Yeah, but I mean, just listen to sleepier things. Maybe there's certain things you're doing which are like limiting your napping ability. Like, do you eat a lot of mints? Are you a minty eater? Are you a minty person?
I like mint.
Do you eat them before your naps?
Yeah, before my naps, I just grab a big handful of mint.
See,
just get that up in my gob.
See, well, that's your problem.
That's probably it. Like, my mouth does burn for like the time that I'm trying to nap.
Yeah, that's what they...
Are you saying there's a better way?
Yeah, just don't. Because apparently peppermint stimulates the brain to make you feel more awake. If anything, what you should do is to when you come out of your nap, maybe that's a really good alternative alarm clock system. It just like sprays a massive thick mist of peppermint.
Or alternatively, we find some sort of material that dissolves over like a certain amount of time, and we stuff a whole bunch of mint inside this beautiful casing, and we put that in your mouth while you're asleep. And then it dissolves over 8 hours, and at the 8th hour, it just goes, and your mouth is just full of this mint.
I hate mint. I'm not a mint fan. Sounds like the worst. I don't want this alarm clock.
Next time I stay over, can I wake you up by spraying some mint into your mouth as an experiment?
Okay, but I get to do something to you.
No,
I get to come up with an experiment in return.
No, I don't want to do it anymore.
An experiment.
Oh, no! I'm calling the police.
The pun cops. Here comes the pun police. They're like the fun police, but they hate puns. Imagine if... Okay, it's more like... So have you ever heard of the vapor clubs?
No.
Okay, so it's like a certain type of club where you pay admission and the beer is in the air, essentially, or the alcohol. It's ethanol vapor.
Right.
So you party, you go partying into the club, and the ethanol just into your skin, and that's how you get drunk.
Ah, okay.
So it's like that. It just emits peppermint into the room, but as it nears the time for you to wake up, it just notches that peppermint level just over that threshold. That's just a bit too much, and you're just like, I'm way too fresh.
You know what? I like that. I could live in peppermint world. I do like mint a lot. I'll eat like Fisherman's Friends and just eat those suckers up.
Fisherman Friends are minty for the world.
Or they're menthol and mint. They're essentially like, I want my mouth to just die to the point where I don't know that there's a problem with it anymore. So like, you got scurvy, you got cuts in your mouth, you got anything. This stuff will just it'll distract you with its bad flavor and its minty pain.
Wait, what are Fisherman Friends? I think I'm thinking of Farmer's Friends. I was imagining you like...
No, not Farmer's Friends, no.
So to people who don't know what either of these things are, we're going to explain them. We're not literal... Aemyn isn't eating the friends of our local producers.
No, Fisherman's Friends are these super strong mints that you get in little plastic... sachets. They're like a remnant of the old world, I think. They're like the thing that you see at the gas station and you're like, that looks strange.
Oh, like it's just... And when fishermen love them? They love mints?
Fishermen love mint because they don't have to eat fruit.
Is it because it gets rid of that fish smell from eating all the fish? I don't...
Maybe that's it. I don't think fishermen eat that much fish when they're out on the water. Like, I don't think they're like, we got all these fish, I'm just going to eat some raw, I guess.
I mean, they might cook them. I don't know. I mean, is it bad for you? Probably. On the other...
But mainly, I don't know. I always assumed Fisherman's Friends were there because mint staved off scurvy or something like that. That's what I like to think.
I mean, they could be full of vitamin C. That's the scurvy fighter. So, like, on the other side of it, Farmer's Friends are not a lolly at all. They're just a plant that's annoying. I don't know.
Hey, you don't know that.
Oh, maybe they are delicious. I don't know.
I like eating fishermen's friends. I don't like eating farmers' friends. Maybe you like eating farmers' friends.
No, I don't. I don't like eating farmers'
Have
friends.
you tried?
No, I haven't. But from what I wouldn't eat one right now. Farmers' friends, they produce these little sort of essentially sticky little bits that come off the plant that are little sticks. Sticky sticks.
And you're going to love these little guys.
You chuck them at your friends when you're in high school and primary school. No high school, really, but that's when we still did it. But at school, and they stick to fabric, and you can't get rid of them. So I don't know why they're farmers' friends. You'd think everyone hates these things because they never come off your clothes again.
Well, farmers, as we know them, obviously massive pranksters. So they don't mind getting dirty in the midst of a prank, but they're good friends because they can use them so much. And just stick those little suckers on politicians or whoever farmers hate.
Maybe they help you nap. Maybe they make it easier to sleep. Maybe they're like a sleep.
Or maybe they're like a nice, crisp, woody snack when you're out in that hot sun.
Oh man, maybe they're more like peppermint. Maybe there's something
farming away.
Maybe if fishermen's friends are the peppermint that wakes you up, farmers' friends are the peppermint that puts you to sleep. I'm gonna hope. Because they are opposites, aren't they? One's the land folk and one's the ocean folk. Like, aren't they naturally opposed?
Yeah, I mean, fishermen, the farmers of the sea.
Yeah.
And farmers, the fishers of the earth.
The fishers. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. But yeah, point is, something I was just going to quickly say from before. You mentioned like nap timing is difficult. I just wanted to put in there, people should totally look up the napping clock. It's not a clock that is napping. It's not some kind of napping clock.
I'd wager here's some kind of napping clock in that box.
We'll put a link to it on the Twitter, but it's just like this clock that you can spin around, and based off when you go to sleep, it goes, this is when you should, this is your ideal napping zone. This is when you nap. Right. So I think Aemyn's just napping at the wrong time and eating too much peppermint. He needs to eat more farmer's peppermint.
So like goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, go to sleep for like 20 minutes.
Exactly.
4 o'clock. And then it gets to 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And then it's like, you should go to sleep now for 8 hours. And then you're like, nah. And it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, go to sleep. And you're like, nah. And nap's only required because we stay up too late.
Nah. I mean, maybe. Let's not think of it like that. Let's just think of it that naps are really good unless they're bad.
Are humans meant to sleep when it gets dark?
Yes.
And then wake up when it gets light?
Yeah.
And we've decided not to do that and instead sleep when it's real dark and wake up when it's getting pretty light.
Yeah, well, we invented our own lights, so now we get to choose when it's dark and light, so take that, nature.
And be tired all the time.
Yeah. But that's why we have naps, and it fixes it. Even like sleeping the whole night doesn't make sense because that's 12 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Like,
no, but you wouldn't sleep the whole night. You would sleep at, let's say, yeah, I guess if you slept when it got dark, you would be sleeping for like
the whole dark. No, like they reckon
all dark.
They reckon cavemen would wake up in the middle of the night and just sort of bump around and not bump into things and just, I don't know. I mean, they had fire, so they probably found something to do in that time.
No, based on my experience of
stories.
Like hanging out in the dark with my family's friends, it'd be like cavemen would probably like have some food, hang around the fire for like 3 hours while the children all run around in the dark, bumping into each other. And then eventually the cavemen would have to drive home on the dirt roads.
Back to their caves.
Back to all their caves. That's like an hour.
Yeah, it's especially because cave travel was so much slower. Everyone was a lot closer together, but just, you know, those Flintstone cars actually are really ineffective. They make walking more difficult, if anything.
Yeah, you know they didn't have those cars.
Oh, I mean, you show me evidence of that and I may change my mind.
You know, I've never seen cavemen and those cars not in the same room together.
Exactly. They're natural complements for each other. I mean, cars are just the cavemen of the modern era.
I mean, if you look in any photograph of a caveman in the background, you look, there's a little red circle and it points out the Flintstone car in the background.
Yeah. Kind of.
It's like when you see it, you can't unsee it.
Generally, I can never find those pictures bigger than a thumbnail, though. This only exists in 100 by 100 pixels. I don't know what the details on this image are. No video ever explains that thing. It's just look at this red circle behind in the tree behind this guy at a conference.
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with anything.
All right, so where were we?
I think we were just about hitting the point for the ad break. I just wanted to put forth the one problem with naps, I think, is that you can't do anything with the nap. If only we could multitask. And I think our product today that we are sponsored by may be able to help you with that.
Okay, excellent. Let's go to that ad zone.
It's your lucky day. We have this giant contraption. Da-da-da. Clip, 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 clip. It's the napping exoskeleton. Have a nap, but keep doing things while having the nap. Do you need to shred paperwork for days? Shred paperwork for days. Need to go for a run? Keep fit while you're having a nap. Fight criminals. Fight crime in general. Be a cop. Solve crimes. You probably can't do that one. It doesn't exoskeleton your mind, just your body. But if you pre-plan and pre-program into it, whatever you put into it ahead of time, it'll do later. Just put a set routine that isn't responsive. How do you feel about that, napping Aemyn? Now go have a nap. Okay, we're back. What did you do on your break, Aemyn?
I just went for a big long run while I was asleep in my nap.
I just had a rego old-fashioned power nap. I did the sleep with a key. I had a nap longer than a second, but not very long.
Do you want to know the secret to my power nap?
What is it?
Lemon juice.
Why?
Well, see, it's surprising at first, but when you really think about it, it's pretty obvious. So you get the lemon, you get some nice freshly crushed ice.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I have an article up here that says tea with lemon might sound great, like an alternative to after dinner espresso, but it might just keep you up. Why? The scent of lemon and other citrus fruits can boost mental stimulation and increase energy levels, which is great, but that's not your napping.
Okay, all right, Snopes. I didn't know I invited Snopes onto my podcast.
Just saying.
To come and Snope my shit.
Hey, our podcast. I invited you to...
It's my lemon podcast right now.
Yeah, well, it's my correcting you on crappy techniques for naps.
Hello, everyone,
podcast.
and welcome back to the Fresh Squeeze. It's time for another juicy episode of this citrus-based podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Lemons Are the Worst podcast. They're bad for your sleep.
Lemons are great. They burn your lips off. They hurt your fingers. They're good for you.
Those are my two favorite things in a food. You're right.
Those are my two favorite things.
I've got a bit of a game that we can go through, in a sense.
Is this one of your garbage games that makes me delete the episode?
No. Well, I mean, I guess we won't know that until after the episode, will we?
I guess.
All right, audience. If this episode isn't deleted, we know this game was okay, at least. So it didn't disgust Aemyn as much as other ones have. If you're intrigued, we'll play it sometime. If we get enough people requesting the game that wasn't, we will revisit it.
Yeah. No, we won't.
So it's napping day today. And as you, sweet listener, may be wondering, as we have as well, or I have, is how do we celebrate this day outside of just napping? What's the party scene going to be like? What's the napping day events roster look like? What's this? Oh, I've got a phone call. Oh, hey, Aemyn, it's for you. Aemyn.
Oh, hello, Steve Jobs. Nice of you to join our podcast.
Hello, this is the ghost of Steve Jobs. I need a party planned, and I need your help, Aemyn. I have your family, so you have to do it. That's the game.
Yeah. So I think we're going to hold this napping party in the Napa Valley of America. If you're not familiar with the Napa Valley...
Wait, I haven't given you the requirements for the party yet.
You can give me them afterwards and we'll shape it.
Okay.
All right. So Napa Valley in California is this beautiful wine region. And I think that's going to be fantastic for our napping party.
But this party is for a very specific clientele. I need to be sure that this party is correct for the people that will be attending this party. Unfortunately, there are two groups that tend to hate each other. So
people who nap and people who don't?
Yes, in a sense. One group is a group of dream analysts who...
Okay.
That's one group. And the other group are carnies. I need you to get these guys to have a lovely napping party. Unfortunately, they're very difficult to work with, though, because as soon as anyone's sleeping, the psychoanalysts get in their ears and start listening and trying to see what's going on in their heads. And the carnies keep making noises. I need your help.
Is this a traditional game? I've never heard this one.
This isn't a game, Aemyn. This isn't a game. This is very serious. I need help setting up this party.
Yes, we all know. It's on tvtropes.com, the story of the psychoanalysts and the carnies.
Yeah. It's a very specific situation. So you want to host it in the Napa Valley? I'm sure I'm fine with that. How do you think that would help, though? Like... Do you think that would be appropriate for this group of people?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is wine country, and you get some of that sweet grape juice into those psychoanalysts, and they turn from psychoanalysts into
just analysts,
just regular analysts,
sleepy analysts,
and you get some of that good sparkling sauce into those carnies. And they just calm right down. That's the thing that they need to be functional members of this society.
Okay. I can get behind that. So we just calm them down with some booze from some delicious wine. Okay, so that sort of covers. I was going to say, like, how are you going to what are we going to do cater wise? What are we going to feed these napping boys?
Wine.
that covers that. What about playlist? What are we going to play music wise?
Just all wine related songs. Black Fingernails, Red Wine. Black Fingernails, Red Wine, and I think...
The dance version? Dance remix?
No, the Eternal Jukebox version of the song Black Fingernails, Red Wine. Do you know what the Eternal Jukebox is?
No, I don't. What's that?
I tried to send it to you yesterday, but you didn't get it, obviously.
Oh, okay.
It takes any song on YouTube, when you go pick a song through the website, Eternal Jukebox, you set these different values, and it creates these strings between points in the song, and as it plays through, it starts to jump between them. So it essentially creates an endlessly looping song.
Oh my god. Man, that's amazing. That's perfect for this part. That's perfect for this party.
Exactly.
That's what calms you down, an endless dance mist, an endless song. Are you going to play it in the normal way, or is it going to be like the sleepy edition where it's like hella slowed down, like Inception or something?
No, it's just the normal way. It just repeats like all these different sections all the time, though. It's always jumping around. So it's like black fingernails, all mine. I'm going to make you black fingernails. And then for like 10 hours, it gets stuck on red wine. It's just like red wine, red wine, red wine. And that's when the party gets turned.
All right. I, Steve Jobs, am not a party expert, so I'll defer to your authority on this matter. How about decorations and general entertainment? What are we going to do? What are we going to do to entertain these boys and girls? I mean, you know.
Well, obviously, it's Napa Valley. All the decorations are wine themed. So we've got big cut-out wine bottles. They're pretty cool looking.
Like the big inflatable ones?
Yeah, like big inflatable, wacky waving inflatable wine bottles. And we just splash a bit of red wine around the place. It's good. It's fine. Like, it doesn't stain any. Red wine washes out with white wine. It's super simple.
What if they all come wearing, like, absolutely clean white clothing?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a simple equation. Is if you have a glass of red wine, you have to have a glass of white wine afterwards. So that when that splashes on you, it washes out the red wine.
Oh, man. Well, on that note, I, Steve Jobs, am now going to just interfere with my own game and suggest a party game here, because I'm really excited with the concept here of their white outfits, which are now mandatory dress, and it's like a blank canvas, and everyone has a wine bottle each.
Oh my god!
You pop up and shoot each other, and you've got to decorate them with the wine or like completely color them in the wine until they fall asleep. Like,
Until they fall asleep.
it's the it's the pre-nap game. Yeah. I mean, I guess
So this game runs for 46 hours.
no, it's the nap. They're very tired. The music's making them sleepy. They're ready for that. They're at that prime nap time of the day. And they're in the Napa Valley full of wine, shooting wine. They're ready for a nap.
You sure they're ready for a nap and not ready to be passed out from an overexposure to certain chemicals in wine?
Oh,
Antioxidants?
you can't have
The sleepiest of chemicals.
you can't have too much antioxidants. Okay, well, fair enough. That sounds pretty good. I'm happy with the sound of the entertainment. The music choices sound excellent. The food sounds diverse and applicable.
Wine.
Yep. I have heard some issues about the Napa Valley, though. Isn't that the place where that ancient evil slumbers? I'm pretty...
The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. What if they show up and start making a heap of, like, Red Hot Chili Peppers noises? What are you going to do? Like, what if it's in the middle of their nap and they're having their 40 winks and then, like, they just start playing, like, I don't know, what's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song?
I don't know, California Sex Train.
They just start playing California Sex Train, and they start waking up all of the bloody carnies, and they all start honking on their vuvuzelas in response, and the psychoanalysts get freaky again.
Well, obviously, at that point, we need to pull the fire alarm, and everybody has to leave the premises.
See that would be problematic for my goals with this party.
See, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are banned from performing in the state of California now.
Well, I need you not to do that. I know we're doing something a little bit illegal here, but I need you to keep it under wraps. I can't have this. It's very important that these magicians, these carnies and psychoanalysts get their nap time done before the big event.
Okay, so I'm assuming Red Hot Chili Peppers are going to lock everyone inside like they do at every concert then.
Yeah. So what do we do about them?
Probably ask them to play their classic hits, at which point they'll stop playing because they're so sick of them.
I like it. That actually sounds pretty legit. I mean, and you have to appease your audience, and I mean, they are known for that. They'll go with it, and like they'll get pretty grumpy. Maybe they'll have a nap too. They can join in and just give them some wine. Fair enough. That sounds good. I'm pretty happy with this. This sounds like a good plan, actually. I'm really keen to have you on the team for the party making.
All right, excellent.
The napping day in the Napa Valley. All right, well, we're done with that. Done with that game now.
What have you been up to this week, Zeb?
Oh, you know, man, the regular sleep, occasional napping. I napped today to celebrate napping day, but it was too short and I feel awful now. But we got through it.
Naps are kind of like that, you remember Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2 on PS2, where you have when you're doing like a grind in a video game,
yeah,
and you have the little bar that bounces back and forth.
Yeah.
You have to tap the button at the perfect time to survive. Whenever I try a nap, I mess that up and I fall off my skateboard.
You've got to like combo them up with like different types of naps or different positions of naps.
Well, no, just like the perfect timing of that games make you do. You need to do with naps in the real world.
I mean, yeah, it's a thing. They're like, it has to be 20 minutes. Otherwise, 21 minutes, you're ruined. You stacked it, wasted. Whatever it says when you fall off a bike in BMX.
Give me the full title of that from memory.
Like the game, the napping-based game?
No, the BMX game that you don't remember the name of. I want you to generate the title.
Matt Hoffman's BMX, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Fight Me.
Do you have any other napping facts to bring to the table?
No. I mean, they're good for your health, but also they're not. Dolphins nap with they sleep with half their brain at a time. That's a random cool fact.
How?
It's just because they got to keep swimming. So like half their brain goes to sleep, the other half stays active so they can keep being a dolphin.
Oh my god.
So
is one side the creative side?
No. It's a myth.
That doesn't apply to dolphins?
Doesn't apply to anyone. Sort of. It kind of applies a tiny bit, but in like the most statistically insignificant fashion.
How creative do you think dolphins are, though?
I don't know, man. Like,
they don't exactly have a big canvas.
Yeah, how creative can you be without thumbs? They blow bubbles and shit.
That's not creativity.
You reckon they'd vape?
No.
If they could, wouldn't they? I reckon they'd bubble vape, like a bubble vape.
I think we're still officially on vapecation.
I don't think I think vapecation is where you actually vape more. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's interesting. I don't know if dolphins nap. Probably because they're scared of the sleep demons. Oh, well, they're not scared of the sleep demons? I don't think sleep demons can swim. In conclusion, either nap.
Is that why people sleep in those water chambers?
Yeah, it's to keep the demons out, isn't it? That's what I always thought.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. They hate water. Water's like, I mean, it keeps zombies out.
I mean, whenever I do one of those sleep pods, I'm like lying there in the water and you can hear the demons just pressing their bodies against the walls of it.
Like the slot.
That you just sleep so well because after a while it just becomes the rhythmic pounding of like a neat like song. And you just know you're safe. It's nice.
That's what it feels like to not have your sleep getting eaten by demons. Apparently.
God, I hate when I sleep just in my regular bed and I wake up and all my sleep was eaten by the sleep demons. They got me!
Damn it. Not again.
All my sleep.
I need that.
I needed that. I'm so tired.
So that's why we celebrate Napping Day. To fight back against them. But at best, nap in a tank and be a dolphin. That's the takeaway message from here.
So thanks for listening to our show. We hope you enjoyed your nap, that you fell asleep listening to this during. And if you've made it this far, for sure, you should be well rested unless you woke up about 10 minutes ago when we were talking about the sleep demons, in which case you're probably pretty stressed out.
Yeah, they probably got you, but you'll be right.
You'll be fine. If you enjoy the show, we'd love to hear from you. You can come chat to us on Twitter at ButYeahPod. You can send us an email at butyeahpod@gmail.com. Zeb also runs our Instagram, which is at ButYeahPod as well. And he posts a bunch of cool stuff on there almost every day.
Yeah, I've slacked off a bit. But yes, by the time you listen to this, there will be a thing of recent value.
Also, if you enjoy my soothing tones, you can find me guesting on a Blink-182 podcast, which is called Blink and You'll Miss It, because it's a 5-minute podcast which covers a different Blink-182 plus 44 or Boxcar Racer song every weekday, which I think is wild as a concept. A real short podcast that you can just snack on that.
Like pod shots.
Just keep slamming these episodes. There's not many at the moment, but I know that there are a lot coming. And my episodes are the 20th and 21st of March. And I'll be back for future episodes as well as the show progresses. So go check that out. It's Blink and You'll Miss It at Blink226Racer on Twitter, or blink226racer.wordpress.com, and Blink and You'll Miss It on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Wherever podcasts are sold and traded.
Yeah, your local pod vendor. I like to imagine them like there's a cornfield somewhere and they grow them up. And you know the pod people, but instead of out of the pods comes rad shows.
Thanks for listening to our rad show, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good. Thanks for listening.
Bye.